Hi there, I'm Seb Maley from Qdos, and in this video we'll take a look at the autumn budget and what the announcements mean for contractors, umbrella workers and the self-employed. This year's budget was preceded by plenty of intentional leaks and then a very unintentional leak from the OBR just before it began. And realistically, this cock-up was probably the most surprising thing that happened on the day. As ever, the Chancellor delivered a mix of headline changes, technical tweaks, and unfortunately a few omissions that many in the flexible workforce had hoped would finally be resolved. So let's break down the key points. The government framed this budget as one focused on growth, fairness and simplification, but for contractors and the self-employed, the picture is a little more mixed. There were two particularly notable changes coming down the line, one for limited company contractors and one for umbrella workers, alongside the continuing themes of compliance, enforcement and regulatory reform. One of the most important announcements for limited company contractors relates to dividend tax. From the 6th of April 2026, all dividend tax rates will increase by 2 percentage points. This means the basic rate rises from 8.75% to 10.75% and the higher rate from 33.75% to 35.75%. This is a fairly notable increase and continues the trend of reducing the tax advantages traditionally associated with operating through a limited company. A second major change could affect umbrella workers and employees more widely. From April 2029, the government will introduce a cap on the national insurance relief available through pension salary sacrifice. In simple terms, any amount sacrificed over £2,000 will be subject to both employee and employer national insurance, with the government seeing the existing system as disproportionately benefiting high earners who can stick bonuses into their pensions tax-free. The reason it's of note to umbrella workers is that, unlike in traditional employment relationships, any additional employer's national insurance will ultimately also be funded by the worker, creating a bit of a double whammy. As we said, this isn't an immediate impact, but it will change planning for anyone using a salary sacrifice as a tax-efficient saving mechanism. In terms of status issues, I don't think anyone was expecting any reference to IR35 or the AF payroll rules, and sure enough, there was nothing in either speech or the subsequent detail. One thing we are anticipating and were optimistically hoping would be referenced was the consultation on employment status, which was announced in the House of Lords some months ago. Unfortunately, we still don't have anything, despite a raft of consultations being published on budget day, so we continue to wait with bated breath. We believe this consultation is coming out of the DBT rather than HMRC, and we still hope that it will be announced in 2025, but ultimately we have nothing concrete to go on, and there is a chance it could be quietly brushed under the carpet. Given the fundamental role employment status plays in both tax and employment rights, this continued silence is disappointing for contractors and engagers alike. Back to umbrella companies, we did have the policy papers for the upcoming legislation, which introduces joint and several liability for umbrellas and recruitment firms. This paper doesn't change anything, but reaffirms the point that this change is very much coming in April 2026. As we know, umbrella companies will also face regulation further down the line by the Fair Work Agency. So much change is afoot and the market is on the cusp of entering a transitionary phase now. So what does yesterday's budget really mean? For limited company contractors, as we said, the dividend rise in 2026 is the most significant point and, as we said, will reduce overall tax efficiency, although this is something that contractors have become very used to. For umbrella workers, the new cap on NIC relief for salary sacrifice pensions could impact take-home pay, but is several years away. And for the wider flexible workforce, the firm leader issues, IR35, employment status, regulatory uncertainty remain as unresolved as ever. We'll continue to monitor developments closely and keep you fully informed as new guidance and draft legislation emerges. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about how these changes affect you, please feel free to get in touch. See you next time.